Hello, good evening, this is Diecast Luna. I hope you're all doing well. And tonight is movie night and it is the third episode of Movie Car Mania. And tonight's episode we're going to be taking a look at three really cool pieces from the 1990 Dick Tracy movie that I picked up a good 2 years ago now. And they are all from ertl. So without further ado, we'll get straight into it. Before we take a look at the cars, I'll just do a little bit of information on the film. So back in 1990, Dick Tracy leapt onto the big screen in a blaze of comic book action along with a blaze of colour, making this one of the most colourful crime gangster movies ever made. Hollywood icon Warren Beatty plays Dick Tracy, the tough, no-nonsense 1930s detective. So that's a little bit about the movie, and I know there was other people in the movie, other big names as well, which I think it was Madonna and quite a few big Hollywood actors in it. But anyway, we are here to look at the cars, so I will put the camera down slightly and we will take a look at the three cars. So let's get a bit of zoom on. So the first car we're going to take a look at is, I believe, Dick Tracy's car, the one he drove in the film, and it is the 1936 Ford V8 Deluxe 5-window coupe, which is this one. I'm just trying to get a bit better look at it. So these are fairly old. These are made by ertl. Apparently they are in 1/64 scale, but these were hanging up, got a bit of dust, hanging up. They'd spent most of their life hanging up in a window of a shop, and all the cards that they were in, they were still blistered up, but they were all yellowed and faded. And I didn't really know much about the Dick Tracy movie. I think I watched it when I was younger, but it was obviously the cars that I was more interested in. I think the 30s cars are very cool. We all see, 32 Fords and, Ford Model Ts and stuff like that from the late 20s and cars from the early 30s. But I'd not really seen much of any other cars. So when I seen these cars very cheaply hanging there, and they've been blistered since the early 90s, so these really have been hanging around for a long time. I just thought I would get them. And but anyway, they are very nicely done. So I don't know if it's come up on the camera quite nice, but none of them have the names of the cars on the bottom. So it just says ertl. And so a little look so we can get a bit of extra Disney, because Disney was the company that put the film out. So I had to research what these cars are. But like I said, apparently this is a 1936 Ford V8 Deluxe 5-window coupe. And this is the car that Dick Tracy drives in the movie. But it is very nicely done. They have got quite nice interiors, but I don't know if it's going to come up. It has got steering wheels and the seats. And these are rubberized tyres. And like I said, they're supposed to be in 1/64 scale, but I've never actually measured them to see if they are. So that's the first piece, and like I said, it rolls quite nice. There you go. So if you like 30s cars and old Fords, you will like this episode. So that's the first piece. And then the second car is a 1937 Ford Standard 4-door sedan, which is this is very similar to the car that Bonnie and Clyde drove. This, in actual fact, if this was a sort of a lighter, almost like a fade, I don't know what colour, what shade of brown, it's quite a light, fadey, sort of, almost like a beigey brown colour. This would look very much like what Bonnie and Clyde drove. But it is very cool. It's probably my favourite one out of the lot, because I do quite like police cars. Again, it has got some interior detail, but you just can't see it. Let's see if we can see it. a bit better. You can see the bits of the seat there. It has got a steering wheel. But these are quite nicely made. But these featured all through the film. You've seen quite a few of these at different times. But again, made the same. All got Dick Tracy on the back. Ertl, Disney. Again, rubberized tyres. I would like to make this into a Bonnie and Clyde car as a custom, but at the same time, I do like it in this police look. So hence why I've not done nothing with it. But and these don't pop up very often. These are quite old. So pretty cool. And the bits of imperfection in the paint almost looks like bullet holes, which is pretty cool. So that is that piece. So we just zoom out a little bit more. And the last piece is the car that Tess drove. And this is apparently a 1937 Plymouth Business Coupe. So very cool. And this one's probably in the best condition. Both the other two cars have got slight paint imperfections, but like I said, they're not bad, because like I said, 1990 the copy of the film came out. So and if I remember rightly, on the box these had 1990 copyright or merchandising anyway. So these are, you know, pushing sort of 30-odd-year-old. So they're not in too bad a condition. But this is, like I said, in really quite nice condition paint-wise. And I don't know if we can get to see the interior on this one a bit better because it's red. There we go. I think you can. So again, you can see it has got a steering wheel. You can see the red seats. Again, Dick Tracy on the back. There's the front. There's the other side. And again, there is the underneath. But anyway, like I said, bit of a different one this week. But there they are. I don't know how many were actually in the set, if there was more. These are the only 3 that I found. It wasn't an overly popular film like that, or when it came out, it was everywhere. I can remember it in the 90s. You know, the McDonald's did toys, and it was all over the place. And if I remember rightly, Warren Beatty actually funded the film, and it took him a lot longer to make than he wanted. It really did. From what I can remember, it dragged on. It took him quite a few years to actually get the film produced. And like I said, it's very colourful. It is done in a comic books fashion. It's a very colourful film, and there's a lot of the characters in there have got like larger heads and big bulbous chins, and it was very true to the comic book. But anyway, that is this week's episode. Please like, share, subscribe. Stay tuned for more movie car mania every Wednesday night. And don't forget, as usual, I do the Vintage Matchbox Mondays. Vintage Matchbox Mondays on a Monday. And stay tuned for Friday night customs. I'll be doing another Friday night custom this week. But anyway, with that, I'll see you all very soon. Thank you for watching.